the topic of finding side lengths with trig. This is not angles. We got that in the next set. Okay, that'll be, I think, on Friday. So whenever you're dealing with these, you're going to be dealing with the sine, cosine, and tangent, which is so, ca, toa. If you do not have that written down, I would suggest you do that. That should give you your trig formulas every single time you do trig. Every single time you do trig, it is going to begin with an angle. For example, right here, you've got this 46 right here. This angle right here is going to be connected to this x on this side and the 45 on this side. The x right here is going to be opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse, guys. Adjacent. Perfect. No, I had no problem with that. And then the 45 is the what? Hypotenuse. Good. So if you're doing a and h, which one of your trig functions is that? Cosine. I don't care which one you call it, as long as you know which one it is. So cosine of the angle, it always has the angle right next to that trig function. And then on the other side, it's going to be, because it's AH, it's going to be the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So what's it going to be on the other side?
X over 45.
X over 45. Good. Whenever you have any equation that has a fraction in it, you are going to multiply to get rid of that denominator. So we do that by canceling out the 45. We're going to make it 45 times cosine of 46 equals x. That's how you write it. Now let's talk about how to type it. Get it written down so we can type it. It's about knowing how to type this on the calculator.
Can you explain why it gets written like that? Because I struggle with that.
Absolutely. So in order to type this in the calculator, you're going to need it to be going across, and typing the trig function first usually messes people up. So all I'm doing is taking that times 45 and putting it out in front.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm doing. And so that it'll type easier. Yep. Because most people, when they type the trig function second, unlike first, they mess it up when they type it. So guys, to type this one, it's going to be 45 times 46 cosine equals. I'll say it again. 45 times 46 cosine equals. Give me that rounded to 2 decimal places. 31.26. Perfect. Equals x. 31.26. Okay. I'm going to switch colors. I'm now going to do everything in red for the next one. It is still based on this 46-degree angle. Everything is based on the angles when you're trying to find the side lengths. I've got a y right here, this unknown, and I've got to use the other one that has a number on it, so I'm still using the hypotenuse. Guys, the hypotenuse is the hypotenuse is the hypotenuse. Okay. What is the y compared to the 46? Opposite. It's going to be across from it. That's how we know it's opposite. It does not touch it at all. This does not ever touch this angle down here at the bottom, so it's going to be opposite. So to find that, we'd be doing opposite and hypotenuse. Which one of your trig functions goes with opposite and hypotenuse?
Sine.
Perfect. Sine of 46 is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, which would be y over 45. Be careful, it's a side length.
Oh.
Just be careful, because I do that too, so that's why I just want to make sure you heard me. Y over 45. You're going to take and get rid of that denominator, so you're going to multiply both sides by, I keep writing it because you said, because I was trying to figure. So times 45 times 45. The whole reason we do that is so we can cross that out. Guys, I got to get the y by itself. To do it, I multiply both sides by 45. I rewrite it with the 45 times sine of 46 equals y. Okay, I'm not going to say it this time. I will if I need it, but I want you to try to type it and see if you can get it this time. It's hard for me not to say it.
Don't shut it off.
I'm trying. Oh, you got an answer? Yeah, you can shout out the answer.
32.37.
37?
Yeah.
Okay. 32.37. Did we end up at 32.37?
Yeah.
Does anybody need me to type it? Like, tell you how to type it? Guys, it's okay to say yes. Does anybody need me to type it? Okay, just in case. 45 times 46 sine equals. 45 times 46 sine equals. Okay, so that gives you those two measurements over here. Do you have any questions, concerns, anything about this? Okay. So going over to this one, again, everything starts with the angle. We're going to use the x and the 87. We got to use the one unknown and the one we know. We're not going to use x and y because then we'd have two unknowns. That doesn't work. We need one that we don't know and one that we do.
We could pick whichever, right?
What do you mean?
X or Y.
Yeah, I always do x first just so I put them in order because then I can put them in order because the answer blanks are going to be x, y. So that's why I try to do x first. Just because if I did y first, I'd put it on the answer blank for the y. That's just me because I know myself. Okay, here we go. So when you do this, what is the x? Adjacent. And the 87?
Opposite.
Opposite. We have not done this yet. Opposite and adjacent is going to be tangent of 26 is equal to opposite over adjacent. So this time it's going to be 87 over x. When x is on the bottom, instead of doing the times by x and then divide by tangent, it's a long process. Remember, if you can just remember to do this, switch these two and rewrite it as x equals 87 over tan 26. Now this is a division problem. You're going to have to type it as a division problem, so everybody write it down so that we can go through and type this together. Ready? Type 87 divided by 26 tangent equals 87 divided by 26 tangent equals. This is a side length, so I need two decimals. What does that give us?
178.3.
Oh, you talk fast. 178.38. Okay. Everybody agrees it's 38? Okay, I just want to make sure the rounding is good. We had some issues with rounding in my second period class, so they were having some trouble with that. We got it fixed though. That's the point, is to ask questions and talk about it if you have any issues. Okay guys, so for the last one, we're going to be doing this in blue, just so you can see it really clearly. We've still got the angle of 26. We've still got the 87 because it's the one side we know. We've got the y over here, so we're looking for that y. That's going to be opposite, and what is the y?
Hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse. So if we've got opposite and hypotenuse, we'd be dealing with sine. So sine of 26 is equal to opposite 87 over the hypotenuse y. Guys, it's almost the exact same problem except we've changed trig functions, but the same process still works. If the variable is on the bottom, you switch them, you rewrite it as y equals, you keep the 87 on top. On the bottom, you've now got this trig function of sine 26 which would make it y equals 198.46. Okay, let's make sure you typed it correctly. 87 divided by 26 sine equals 87 divided by 26 sine equals. Everybody get to that 198.46? Anybody have any questions? Want me to talk through typing it again? Anything? Yep, please.
Can you repeat putting in 87 divided by...
This one right here?
Yeah.
Okay. It'd be 87 divided by 26, then hit the tangent button, then equals. See if you end up at 178.38.
I just need to write it.
To write it to so you can remember it. Good. Thank you for it. That's a great question. And guys, the process, if you need to write that stuff down, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. And I'll repeat it. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and move on from our warm-up. Take this, put this in your folder.